So let's talk automating your creative deployment using dynamic ads on TikTok so that ultimately you don't have to work nearly as hard as everybody else to get a much better result as everybody else. Because remember, ultimately, TikTok, just like everything else, is an optimized CPM platform built on artificial intelligence and a machine learning environment. And all you need to do is continually apply the scientific method so that you don't have to rely on guesswork. Because science is going to win every single time at scale. What's most important here, and what we're going to really dive into, is how to utilize the tools on TikTok to ultimately generate a much more stable and scalable result than putting in a ton of hard work playing the lottery. Because relying on guesswork and luck is a terrible business model. Let's start with a few objective facts. Not opinions, objective facts to build from. If we know objective facts, hey, we can be really successful because all we need to do is build strategies built off of them. Number one, TikTok is an oCPM platform that favors your user experience above all else. Remember, nobody's signing on TikTok to see all of your hard work. Number two, TikTok wants new creative often. It is a system predicated on dopamine hits from new content. Number three, data volume and integrity will improve artificial intelligence. And four, or D, consistent improvement will beat out guesswork at scale. If we can agree on that, then deployment of a dynamic strategy to make consistent growth is actually really easy to do. oCPM platforms, optimized CPM platforms, and the user experience. Now, Facebook really drove home this concept and this technology better than anybody ever had beforehand. It's their unfair advantage in the marketplace. Now, TikTok is doing an exceptional job where other platforms fell off. And we have to really understand, why is TikTok so popular? Just like Facebook and Instagram, and to a lesser extent to YouTube and Snapchat, Facebook and TikTok prioritize the end user experience over everything else. People log into TikTok for the experience. They don't log in to see all of your hard work. They don't care about your brand, and neither does TikTok. If every time you logged in, all you saw was every ad from every marketer that was trying to build out a funnel to force you to separate yourself from your money, well, you'd never log in again. TikTok really thrives on new content because you can doom scroll going through things in seconds. There's actually a scientific study that showed we get a larger dopamine hit by swiping to see the next content rather than even enjoying the content that we see. That is bleak, honestly. But the point here is this experience thrives on new content. So part of our strategy has to be, how do we systematically deploy new content into the machine? Because it's not like Facebook where an ad's going to last for months or years when we do a good job. So because of this easily disposable nature of the content, we have to understand how to use this unfair advantage that TikTok has in the marketplace of this doom scrolling, attention seeking, and dopamine delivery to generate business results. Data volume and integrity ultimately is at the core of what builds artificial intelligence. And why we really need to understand this is because the more data we give a machine to solve a simple problem, the better it's going to be at it. The quality and volume of data is tremendously important. Far too many people are really driving the idea that you just need to try a million things and whatever works, spend every penny on it. That is playing the lottery. Yes, maybe you're going to work that way. But if you want every day to be better than your best day could ever be playing the lottery, then you have to prioritize training the machine to understand how to deliver your content. And ultimately, when you lean into machine learning, the software is going to give you a better result than you could ever do on your own. Consistent improvement, the concept of Kaizen, will always beat out guesswork at scale. And really, we have to understand why. Say you go from $100 a day to $1,000 a day. Maybe you go from 500 to 10,000. Great. What happens next week when you can't sustain it? Well, some people would say, well, we scaled to the moon, right? We did 100,000 in revenue in like a month. It was fantastic. And my question is, great. So why are you out of business 3 months later? My point is, a little bit of improvement consistently turns a maybe we're going to be successful into this is how much time we need to invest until your really great day of scaling to the moon is worse than every single day that I'm going to have. 2% a week is 3x a year, is 30x in 3 years. Focus on that. So how do we test ads on TikTok to focus on the machine learning and consistent improvement? Prioritizing the scientific method and high confidence of data to scale our account. Well, really, it comes across 3 good old friends that we've been scaling with every platform that has dynamic content that is an optimized CPM environment with machine learning. It's going to sound really familiar if you've been paying attention to how to be successful on Facebook. Number 1, broad audiences. Why? Because why are we going to pay extra money to inhibit our ads from being shown to the people that want to see it? That's just dumb. And we're going to use automated ad development so that we don't have to do nearly the level of work to deploy it. Number 2, let's keep it simple. I like the idea of 3 creatives, 3 sets of copy. That's a limited number of options. And then we replace the bad ideas with new, better ones. It's really that easy. So why are we targeting broad? Remember, optimized CPM environment. You're trying to show the best content to people that want to see it. When you pay extra to make sure that the people that want to see your content maybe don't have the opportunity to, that's called really bad business. That is going after a short win instead of building for the future. That's the difference between being a media buyer trying to look smart and cool and a business trying to go after the next round of funding. If you want success, you have to build stable and scalable solutions. If you want to boost your ego, you can look cool today because what do you care when that client leaves in 6 months? Anybody trying to chase short wins with your ad account doesn't have your bottom line in their best interest. And we can test this stuff with Spark ads and putting organic to ultimately set ourselves up to evaluate good choices and replace the bad ones with new opportunity. With automated creative optimization, basically TikTok's version of dynamic creative, they'll build all the ads for you. Now, what people have been begging for from Facebook is, I want to see every post ID. Well, TikTok gives it to you. On the downside, we don't collate all of the data from every ad unit together, so each individual ad is a little bit dumber than it could be, but it does all of the work. And you can use the scientific method to say, improve every week. Here's what you need to do to turn ads off as you move forward. It's really 2 pieces. First is, look at what's spending a lot and is doing bad. Turn it off. And number 2, we don't need a lot of versions of the same creative. So if you have that video, multiple options of copy, just get rid of the ones that don't spend. It's that easy. So ultimately here, the point is threefold. 1, you can consistently improve your performance by improving the quality of choices that the machine learning can make on your behalf to ultimately scale the quality and volume of results of users coming into your store. That's easy. Number 2, when we index the performance of our results and what we like against meeting the needs of our business partners, it's almost impossible to fail. Alignment there is tremendously powerful. So instead of trying to force all of your budget against one ad, why not just make better and better content so the platform sees you as a better and better partner, and ultimately you reach more and more people cheaper and cheaper and make way more money. And the last thing is, stop trying to play the lottery of 10xing your spend today, because the best day you're going to have is going to be worse than my average day in 3 months.